The 2004-2005 Ontario Hockey League season began in unfamiliar surroundings for the Erie Otters as the team hit the road for training camp for the first time in franchise history and set up shop at the Jamestown Savings Bank Ice Arena. The week-long camp allowed the Otters to work on all the positive aspects of team unity, while at the same time introducing the Otters to a new market of potential fans. The camp was an unmitigated success, creating an unprecedented level of camaraderie and momentum, leading the Otters into the 2004-2005 regular season. However, the Otters broke camp under the realization that a rather large hole in the lineup had unexpectedly developed. After being selected by the New York Islanders in the 2004 National Hockey League entry draft, veteran team captain Chris Campoli made the first of what would turn out to be a seamless transition into the pro ranks when he signed with the Islanders and joined their American Hockey League affiliate, the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. Brian Lee assumed the captaincy as he entered his fifth season as a member of the Otters, while veterans Josh Disher, Jeff Platt, Rob Heisey, Mike Blunden, and Ryan O'Mara formed a nucleus of proven performers expected to contend with the top teams in the Western Conference. After splitting the first two games of the season on the road in Northern Ontario, the second largest home opener crowd in franchise history welcomed the Otters back to the Tullio Arena to begin the home portion of their schedule against the Kitchener Rangers. Jeff Platt ignited what turned out to be a torrid start to his season with a pair of goals and leading the Otters to a 4-3 win over their Midwest Division rivals. The home opener victory was followed by back-to-back wins over the highly rated Owen Sound Attack, including Derek Merlini's overtime winner in the second game, which vaulted the Otters to a 4-1 start on the season. Erie's home success didn't end there, as the club matched a franchise record by winning 8 straight on home ice, the best home start in franchise history. The streak eventually came to an end at the hands of the powerful London Knights on November 13th, as the number one team in the Canadian Hockey League slipped past Erie 3-1 in a tight checking affair. Meanwhile, Rob Heisey was rolling right along as he put together a franchise record-tying 18-game-point scoring streak that carried into mid-November. The streak resulted in 8 goals and 22 assists and matched the record established by Tim Conley in 1997-1998. The Mississauga Ice Dogs arrived for Thanksgiving at the Tullio Arena as Jeff Platt pulled up to the table for a 3-goal game and leading the Otters to a 3-1 win in front of the fourth home pre-Christmas crowd of 5,000 or more. The hat-trick performance capped off an incredible start for the veteran center as he scored 23 goals in the opening 23 games of the schedule to almost single-handedly take care of the Otters' goal-scoring exploits in the early part of the season. The hot start included a franchise record-tying 4-goal performance against the Toronto St. Michael's Majors on October 22nd at the Tullio Arena. A week later, the Otters pulled off their only trade of the season, sending disgruntled forward Rob Heisey to the Barrie Colts in exchange for veteran forward Andrew Shannon and rookie defenseman Andrew Hoffa. The deal addressed two of the Otters' most glaring deficiencies in the opening half of the season, delivering a hard-nosed competitor in the feisty Shannon and a defender with untapped offensive potential in Hoffa. The deal led the Otters directly into their best 10-game stretch of the campaign, as Erie collected 16 of a possible 20 points to reach a high-water mark for the season and moved 9 games over 500 at 21, 12, 4, and 4. The stretch featured Josh Disher's first 2 shutouts of the season, a 2-0 victory over the Saginaw Spirit to ring in the new year at the Tullio Arena, followed by a 4-0 blanking of the Mississauga Ice Dogs just 4 days later. The excitement of the midseason success was exemplified by the support in the stands as the Otters closed out January in record-breaking fashion at the Turnstiles, A new regular season record crowd was on hand on January 28th as 5,601 watched the Otters and Brampton Battalion battle to a 1-1 overtime tie. The attendance record lasted just 24 hours, as the very next night, 5,639 celebrated Andrew Hotham's hat trick and an Otters 5-3 win over the Guelph Storm. Hotham became just the third defenseman in franchise history to score 3 goals in a game, and only the 7th rookie to accomplish the feat in an Otters uniform. February brought with it a moment 5 years in the making, as Captain Brian Lee became the first member of the Otters to play 300 games in the Ontario Hockey League when he suited up against the Storm at the Guelph Sports and Entertainment Center on February 4th. The veteran defender from Berrien Springs, Michigan, who saw his franchise record consecutive games played streak end at 200 a week earlier, marked the occasion by scoring what turned out to be the game-winning goal in his milestone contest as the Otters doubled the Storm 4-2. The Otters also used the month of February to stoke the flames of a rivalry that would reach searing proportions, offer a sneak peek into the plans for their 10th anniversary celebrations, and exorcise a demon that had wreaked havoc at the Tullio Arena since 1998. A postseason collision course between the Otters and Kitchener Rangers seemed inevitable since the midway point of the season, and 3 February meetings provided ammunition on both sides to heighten their rivalry. Josh Disher's 22-save shutout performance and a 2-0 home win over the Rangers on February 5th got things simmering before the Rangers all but solidified home ice advantage in the opening round of the postseason with a home-and-home sweep to settle the score. The Otters quickly recovered from the Kitchener sweep with back-to-back home wins to close out February. A 4-2 victory over the Ottawa 67s got the Otters back on winning terms. The game also featured the return of former Otter Tim Conley and the unveiling of the Otters' special 10th anniversary 3rd jersey that will be worn in 2005-2006. February concluded in robust fashion as the Otters finally put to rest a 16-game regular season home winless streak against the Plymouth Whalers with a 5-2 win on February 27th. The victory marked the first Erie win over Plymouth at the Tullio Arena since March 1st, 1998. The game also marked Dave McQueen's 200th win as Otters head coach. In short order, McQueen would eclipse a number of other milestones before the end of the season. The veteran bench boss coached in his 400th Otters game March 3rd in London, moved into 13th on the OHL all-time coaching wins list with his 277th OHL victory on March 5th against Guelph, and coached in his 600th OHL game March 6th against London. A few more records fell by the wayside before the conclusion of the regular season. Jeff Platt netted his 20th power play goal of the season in a 6-1 win over the Sarnia Sting on March 12th at the Tullio Arena to break the Otters' record of 19 established by Mike Rice in 2002-2003. Platt finished the season with 45 goals, tied with Brad Boyes for second most goals in a single season in franchise history. And on March 16th against the Owen Sound Attack, Otters fans did it again. For the 5th straight season, the Otters established a new regular season attendance record, smashing the previous mark and finishing the 2004-2005 campaign with a total regular season attendance of 150,562. The 2004-2005 season also afforded 3 members of the Otters an opportunity to take part in 3 prestigious events. Mike Blunden represented the OHL in the 2004 Canada-Russia Challenge in 2 November games. Blunden and Ryan O'Mara suited up for Team Davidson at the 2005 Canadian Hockey League Top Prospects game in Vancouver in January. And Jeff Platt made his first All-Star appearance as a member of the Western Conference in the OHL All-Star Classic held in Owen Sound in February. As far as an attempt to improve their playoff positioning was concerned, the final month of the regular season turned out to be rather uneventful for the Otters. A subpar finish to the regular season led to a final record of 31, 26, 6, and 5. good enough for fifth in the Western Conference. The fifth-place finish led to a greatly anticipated and first-ever playoff meeting between the Otters and the Kitchener Rangers. Considering the Otters' lackluster completion of the regular season, not a lot was expected against the Rangers, who at least on paper possess more depth and talent than the Otters. But it became readily evident early in the Western Conference quarterfinal series that Erie wasn't necessarily concerned how the best-of-7 affair measured up on paper. The series opened at the Odd in Kitchener with a double overtime thriller and the second longest game in Otters postseason history. Backstopped by an Otters playoff record 56-save performance by Josh Disher, the contest was eventually decided on David Herring's game winner early in the fifth period as the Otters drew first blood and wrestled home ice advantage away from the Rangers. The next night at the Tullio Arena, the Otters built an early 4-0 lead. Disher ran his shutout streak to a franchise playoff record 101 minutes, and Erie cruised to a 4-2 victory and a seemingly commanding 2-0 lead in the best-of-7 series. The Otters' good fortune turned in Game 3 of the series as Kitchener captain Mike Richards supplied a superstar performance with 4 points, including the game winner in overtime to lift the Rangers back into the series with a come-from-behind 4-3 win. Game 4 followed a similar pattern. For the second straight contest, the Rangers rallied late to tie the game and even the series on David Clarkson's game winner late in the first overtime period. Despite a continued impassioned team effort, Erie was unable to recover from the back-to-back losses as the Rangers wrapped up the series with wins in Game 5 and 6 to eliminate the Otters and advance to the Western Conference quarterfinals. The end of the season brought an official end to the junior careers of David Herring and Brian Lee. Herring saved his best for last, spearheading the Otters' early success against the Rangers and tied as the Otters' leading scorer in the 2005 playoffs. As for Lee, he graduates as the Otters' all-time games played leader and has etched his name in Ontario Hockey League history. Only 4 other players have played more games than Lee's 319, and only 1 other player in OHL history has played more games for the same team. The 2004-2005 season came to a conclusion with the Otters displaying all the teamwork, loyalty, and pride that can lead to great accomplishments. Another page on a championship blueprint was put into place as the organization continues to work towards meeting and exceeding the expectations set forth internally and in the community. Expectations that will lead to championship success. This player arrived late in his junior career, and he quickly began to make up for lost time during an impressive freshman campaign. A good combination of offensive skills delivered a 31-point season, while his abrasive approach to the game led to 144 minutes in penalties, the 4th highest total among rookies in the OHL. The 2004-2005 Erie Otters Rookie of the Year, Chris Green. This player overcame an injury-plagued start to his OHL career to develop into one of the Otters' most dependable performers. The 20-year-old helped anchor a rock-solid blue line that posted the second fewest goals against in franchise history. The 2004-2005 Erie Otters' most determined player, Jake Heller. It goes without saying that on most occasions, these two categories go hand in hand in defensive success. In 2004-2005, this player anchored a young crop of defenders and quietly turned in his most dominant season. The veteran captain finished his final campaign with a +9 rating in leading a team that allowed the second fewest goals against in franchise history, while solidifying himself as not only the most durable player in franchise history, but also the most dependable, with consecutive games played streak of 200 and a franchise record 319 games played during his career. The 2004-2005 Erie Otters plus-minus leader and best defenseman, Brian Lee. During his second OHL season, this player made huge strides toward becoming a consistent contributor to his team's efforts. He nearly tripled his offensive production during his sophomore season with 9 goals and 22 points in 66 games. At the same time, he displayed exceptional versatility, either as a member of the first line, concentrating on his defensive assignments, or killing penalties. The 2004-2005 Erie Otters' most improved player, Vince Scott. This forward is recognized in 2 categories for the second straight season. The 18-year-old forward built on an impressive rookie season with an even better sophomore campaign to finish second in team scoring with 63 points in 64 games. His production, combined with a gentlemanly approach to the game, earned him recognition as a top prospect by NHL Central Scouting. Off the ice, the Mississauga native excelled in the classroom as an honors student at McDowell, where his academic performance offered him the opportunity to advance his studies at Gannon University. The 2004-2005 Erie Otters Scholastic Player of the Year and most sportsmanlike player, Ryan O'Mara. These two players took it upon themselves during the 2004-2005 season to have a positive impact on the ice and in the community. Both players were regulars in the classroom, whether they were concentrating on their own studies or promoting the Otters through countless elementary and middle school appearances. Combined, the two veterans spent more than 130 volunteer and service hours to spearhead the Otters' community involvement. 2004-2005 Erie Otters Steve Nimigon Humanitarian Award winners, Vince Scott and Brian Lee. This player added to his growing reputation as a big game performer during the 2005 Ontario Hockey League playoffs with an outstanding series against the Kitchener Rangers. His shutout streak of 101 minutes between Game 1 and 2 of the series established a new franchise record, and he finished the series with an impressive .926 save percentage after facing more than 40 shots per game in the 6-game series. The 2004-2005 Erie Otters outstanding playoff performer, Josh Disher. This veteran player set the offensive tone for the Otters by scoring 23 goals in the first 23 games of the season, on his way to equaling the second highest single-season goal total in franchise history. His 45 goals were second most in the OHL, while his team-leading 79 points landed him 11th in the race for the Eddie Bauer Memorial Trophy as the OHL's leading scorer. In addition, this high-flying forward netted a franchise record 20 power play goals to solidify himself as one of the OHL's sharpest shooters. 2004-2005 Erie Otters, LeCastro Benini 3-star award winner, leading scorer and player of the year, Jeff Platt. Defense was the name of the game in the first ever OHL season not to feature a 50-goal scorer, and the Otters leaned on two of their finest to make their mark. Both players displayed a wealth of dedication to aspire to be their very best in the name of team success, leading directly to individual accolades. This goaltender joins an elite class as only the third member of the Otters to capture Player of the Year and Most Valuable Player honors during his career. His 25 wins were second most in a season in franchise history, while his .913 save percentage ranks as the third best mark in franchise history. A 5-year career comes to a conclusion with this defenseman at the top of his game. He holds the franchise record with 319 games played and never missed a game due to injury in his OHL career. He's a former Otters first-round pick in the OHL priority selection and graduates not only recognized for his dedication, but also as an MVP. The 2004-2005 Erie Otters Bassin Award winners for dedication and most valuable players, Josh Disher and Brian Lee.